Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at noon.
Good afternoon and thank you for watching News 8 Now. I'm Sophia Pullman. Activists are speaking out after they say leaders voted to ban a book at GET schools. The GET Instructional Resources Reconsideration Committee voted to remove the book Queer Ducks, The Natural World of Animal History from the middle school library. That's according to a release from the Seven Rivers LGBTQ Connection in La Crosse. The center put out a statement condemning the book's removal. The center's executive director says she felt it was important to speak out.
Everybody deserves to see themselves represented in, materials, whether it's books, movies, TV, and it sets a really dangerous precedent when you're banning books that are specifically directed towards marginalized groups.
The GET School Board agenda says the board will reconsider the Instructional Resource Committee's decision at the next school board meeting.
Makes me sad.
Open and affirming. A unique art form dedicated to representing those affected by gun violence has made its way to La Crosse. This project started in Portland, Oregon by artist Leslie Lee. She wanted to make something positive out of her own grief over gun violence.
What started on the West Coast is expanding nationwide.
Now that the Washington exhibit has happened, different communities are adopting some of the boxes.
One of those places is La Crosse. Since the pandemic, Soulbox has been in our community.
They had their little library outside the pump house, and they had all the folding materials along with just the story of what the Soulbox was. And they invited people to come, with their masks or whatever, take the materials home and then bring them back.
Artist Rana Metz helped bring the project here to help people heal.
Healing begins through just the actions of one single person, one single folded box, one single moment of being mindful and thinking about those people that have lost their lives.
She also hopes decreases the number of lives lost to gun violence. Over 500 of those soul boxes were on display at ArtSpire.
It's been a real honor for me to be a part of this project, and I actually had an opportunity to go out to Portland and help curate some of the boxes, and it just really personalized it for me when I walked into the warehouse and just saw the hundreds of thousands of boxes.
Anyone looking to create a soul box can stop by the pump house. The soul boxes will be on display at the La Crosse Library. Visitors enjoyed live music, craft booths, food trucks, and a beer garden at La Crosse's 10th annual ArtSpire event. There were also interactive crafts like a tie-dye art installation. The event was free and engages the community through the arts. One guest says he's been coming every year since it started and says this year is just as fun.
It's really, really healthy. A lot of really cool artists, a lot of great booths. Yeah, seems like it's doing really well.
It all happened near the pump house in downtown La Crosse.
Well, a bit of a cloudy start to the afternoon now. We have seen those clouds continue to increase from the north across the Coulee region, and we expect that trend to continue, along with the chance of showers here. But as of right now, no rain here exactly, but we are looking at those thick overcast conditions beginning to move in from the north here over the last hour or so. Current temperatures are into the upper 60s. Some spots, though, have reached the low 70s, such as La Crosse, 73 degrees here. Meanwhile, in Eau Claire to the north, 70 for you, 72 degrees currently in Winona, and we're in the upper 60s, Black River Falls and Sparta. So here's a check on the afternoon forecast for you. We'll keep the mostly cloudy skies in the forecast with a chance of showers possible later into the afternoon, especially between 3 to 5 p.m. I'm not expecting a washout by any means, but you may run to a brief shower or two. A good idea to bring that umbrella handy with you just in case. And overall, another cool day today as well, as afternoon temperatures will mainly be into the 70s thanks to that northerly wind behind the effects of that cold front that moved through over the weekend. Now, I'll be back with that full weather forecast a little bit later. We'll talk more about these rain chances in just a bit. Sophia?
Former President Donald Trump heads to Florida today ahead of his arraignment tomorrow in a Miami federal court. He is facing 37 felony criminal charges, including alleged repeated violations of the Espionage Act. Over the weekend, the former president, who is the current frontrunner in the 2024 Republican presidential field, blasted the charges. Christian Benvenidez reports from Doral, Florida.
On the campaign trail this weekend, former President Trump railed against the federal indictment as a political hit job.
This vicious persecution is a travesty of justice.
Among the 37 criminal charges Trump is facing, prosecutors say he illegally retained classified documents detailing U.S. nuclear weapons programs and documents with details about military activity and capabilities of both the U.S. and foreign countries.
If even half of it is true, then he's toast. I mean, it's a very detailed indictment, and it's very, very damning.
While Trump's former Attorney General William Barr dismissed characterizing this case as a witch hunt, Republican Senator Marco Rubio argued the indictment will cause certain harm to the country.
This will now put all of our institutions into tremendous crisis. The judge will be attacked, the process will be attacked, the Department of Justice will be attacked.
Officials here in Florida are preparing for possible protests with increased security. So far, the indictment doesn't seem to be impacting Trump's popularity with his base.
He's a very strong candidate. The more charges they put on him, the stronger he seems to get.
A CBS News poll released Sunday shows Trump continues to be the solid frontrunner in the race for the 2024 Republican nomination, with 61% support among likely GOP voters. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Doral, Florida.
In the poll, only 38% of likely Republican primary voters considered it a national security risk if Trump kept classified nuclear and military secrets, compared to 80% of the rest of the country. When we come back, we take a look at why more seniors are struggling in our Money Watch. U.S. stocks closed out last week with gains on Friday. The Dow jumped 43 points, the Nasdaq climbed 20 points, and the S&P 500 ticked up 4 points. CBS News' Matt Piper has the latest business news headlines from New York.
The Federal Railroad Administration is soon expected to release a report on its investigation into the February derailment of a Norfolk Southern freight train in Ohio. The agency also now says it will probe all the major freight railroads over the next year. According to the administration, last year alone, there were 518 derailments nationwide, causing 5 injuries, 0 deaths, and more than $100 million in reported damage. Twitter has reportedly refused to pay its Google Cloud bills, according to a report by Platformer. Twitter had signed a multi-year contract with Google aimed at securing accounts, and the contract comes up for renewal this month. Platformer says the rift could result in Twitter's safety teams being hampered. And an analysis of U.S. Census data shows that American seniors continue to feel the pinch of inflation. While most 65 and older are covered by insurance through programs like Medicare, many are still swamped with debt. It says nearly 4 million older adults could not pay their medical bills in full. In fact, unpaid bills among older adults top $54 billion. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Matt Piper.
That's it for your afternoon consumer news. As we head to break, here is a live look at the New York Stock Exchange. Stay with us. More news is next. Why men may be more likely to take risks than women, and why your weight loss journey may be thrown off by those closest to you. Michael George has a wrap-up of the day's top health stories.
If you're trying to lose weight, be careful around family and loved ones. They could be sabotaging you. A new study out of the University of Surrey found those closest to you may be inadvertently derailing your weight loss journey by doing things like offering you food when you're not hungry or not calling you out when you're breaking your weight loss rules. Researchers do point out, though, that proper support from friends and family can be an invaluable tool in helping you achieve your goals. Men take more risks than women, and it's because men are more optimistic than women. That's according to new research published in the British Journal of Psychology. The study found women weigh the negative outcomes of taking risks greater than any gains they might make. And some news from a study aimed at athletes that could benefit us all. Researchers out of the University of Georgia say eating colorful fruits and vegetables can help your visual range. Compounds in foods like leafy greens and yellow and orange produce have been shown to improve how well a person can see a target clearly over distance, which is crucial in most sports. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
That's it for our medical news today. Here is a look at CityCam 8. Derek is in next with our forecast.
Well, we are keeping our eyes on the sky because the clouds are starting to increase now across the Coulee region. As you can see behind me from CityCam 8, it's off to a bit of a cloudy start right now. 73 is the temperature at the airport. Slightly cooler, however, downtown at 72. West-northwest winds light at 10 miles an hour. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, we're currently sitting at 70 degrees. Partly cloudy skies here with north-northwest winds light at around 8 miles an hour. Visibility looking good for that lunch hour commute at 10 miles. Temperatures are currently into the 70s in many spots, but there are a handful of locations such as Sparta, Viroqua, down into Boscobel, and also into Prairie du Chien, currently into the upper 60s and also into the upper 60s, 69 there in Volkfield. With our forecast highs today expected to rise into those low to mid 70s. I'm expecting Eau Claire to hit 75 today and a high of 76 if you're in La Crosse this afternoon. So let's break down your day planner. 72 and mostly cloudy at 1 o'clock here, 76, and a little bit of a drizzle here is possible around 3 o'clock, followed by a few showers by 5 p.m. and then by early this evening at 7 p.m., 68 degrees with a few passing evening showers as well. So as of right now, things are looking quiet, but again, you can see some of those increasing clouds moving in from the north. And if we widen out the view and tilt the map, you can see that we do have that low pressure system with the trailing cold front associated with it as well. And that cold front was responsible for bringing our temperatures down here a little bit today, also giving us some drier weather conditions to work with. And you probably noticed yesterday was cool too. We got that northerly wind behind it, dragging in that cooler air behind the front. Now, the wraparound effects of cloud cover and precipitation may be bringing us some chances of showers and maybe even a couple rumbles of thunder around here as we head into later this afternoon. As you can see there, notice the clouds and rain here wrapping around behind that low here from the west as we head into today, and also as we head into tonight. Still looking at some scattered showers, but it looks like most of the showers, I'm thinking, are going to be mainly focused to the east across central Wisconsin there and also into eastern Wisconsin, but portions of our eastern zones may be clipped by this, by the shower activity as we head into tomorrow afternoon before everything begins to settle down as we head into tomorrow night. So here's a check on your 8-day forecast. We got the rain chances there as we head into tomorrow, and as we head throughout the rest of this week, starting on Wednesday, we're going to be much drier. Highs will return back into the 80s, low temperatures into the 50s and low 60s, and looks like this pattern will last us here for the rest of the week, this weekend, and also into early next week. So just have to get through what could be some rain today and then also into tomorrow. But after all, we do need the rain, though.
We do need the rain. We didn't get much this weekend either, so maybe today or tomorrow.
Right.
Thanks, Derek. When we return, we look at the devastating interstate collapse that happened yesterday, in Pennsylvania.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Pennsylvania's governor is expected to issue a disaster declaration following the collapse of a portion of Interstate 95. It's a major north-south highway that runs along the East Coast from Florida to Maine, and it will mean months of major traffic headaches for drivers passing through Philadelphia. Janelle Burrell is in Philadelphia with the latest.
This was the inferno that commuters drove through early Sunday along I-95 in Philadelphia. Underneath an overpass, a gasoline tanker had crashed, sparking a fire so hot it brought down part of the freeway. Frank Graber says he felt the road buckle underneath him.
I felt it drop like a roller coaster. So I was like, well, it wasn't very smart because I could have fell right in the fire.
Pennsylvania's governor says it appears at least one vehicle is still in the rubble.
We're still working to identify any individual or individuals who may have been caught in the fire and the collapse.
Before Sunday's collapse, that section of I-95 handled roughly 160,000 vehicles a day. Now it's closed in both directions indefinitely for miles.
Everyone's just going to have to adjust. We're probably going to have to wake up a little earlier, show up on time.
The collapsed overpass was part of a $212 million reconstruction project that was completed 4 years ago. A team from the National Transportation Safety Board is on the ground investigating.
Our focus right now from a DOT perspective is doing everything we can do to help PennDOT get that section of I-95 up and running. Obviously for both vehicle passenger traffic and for goods movement supply chains, this is going to be a major disruption in that region, and it's really going to affect the whole Northeast.
Local officials say rebuilding this section of I-95 could take months. Janelle Burrell, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Officials are concerned about the environmental effects of gasoline runoff into the nearby Delaware River. Stay with us. We'll have one more check of your forecast when we return.
Last check on your 8-day forecast. We do have chances of showers in the forecast later today, but also into tomorrow as well, and even into tonight. We'll keep our eyes on that. Now, throughout the rest of the week, starting Wednesday, highs back into the 80s and lows into the 50s and 60s, and mix of sun and clouds. Really, some dry weather is ahead after we get through these next couple of rain chances.
Hopefully, we get some rain today and tomorrow.
Definitely could use it.
Thanks, Derek, and thank you for watching News 8 Now. You can catch us again at 5 and 6. Have a great afternoon, everyone.